Why did you jump into comedy? Did something happen at college where you did something, or what was the segue into stand-up?
I'd never done stand-up. I started watching it, and then I got obsessed with it. So in the breaks, I would go to my uncle's house in Orlando, and they had like HBO comedy, and I would just record every single one-night stand, everything.
Awesome.
And I just watched so much stand-up. In like a year, I watched like 10 years of stand-up.
Wow.
Like I watched everybody, good stand-up, bad stand-up. I watched so much goddamn stand-up. And I became fucking really obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I would like write down ideas for jokes. But I was too scared to try it. Then in Iowa, at my school, there was a friend of mine who organized like a comedy stand-up night, open mic night, and he had like 3 or 4 people perform. So I went and I watched, and it seemed so fun. So I was like, all right.
Just at like a house or a campus or something?
At a small coffee shop.
Oh, cool.
Like 100 people, 150 people. So I was like, all right, I'll give myself 6 months next year. This is junior year. I was like, senior year, I'll perform at this. So then I did. I performed senior year at Bob's Coffee Shop at Grinnell College.
Bob's Coffee Shop.
And I did 25 minutes the first time. Yeah, geez.
Damn.
So cocky. I did 25 minutes, and I was like, oh, my God. And it went so great because all my friends are in the audience. Even if they're not friends, they're like supporting me.
Right, of course.
College. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I could do Letterman next week.
You just got that performance high or
Oh,
whatever.
my God. I had such a great time. And then I was like, all right, next semester. So I wrote another 20 minutes, did another 20 minutes the next semester. And after I'd done...
Just churning out 20-minute specials left and right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was horrible material, but it did great.
I was just going to say, do you remember any of the jokes? Would any of them stand up? Or was it all
There was one joke that I still kept doing, but
that's cool.
Only one.
At least one made it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't do it anymore, but I did do it my first couple of years in Chicago.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So then you go to Chicago and you're doing stand-up just every night, it sounds like? Wherever you can? Or
It's sort of up and down. Not every night because Chicago didn't have that much. I'm probably performing 2 or 3 times a week. There were open mics, So I go to Chicago, and first thing I do is I submit that college tape to... Comedy Central used to have this competition. I forget what it was called, where you could send in tapes, and then if you made it, you'd do like... You'd go up against other comedians in like Chicago, New York, and LA.
Yeah.
And if you won all the way, you'd end up on Premium Blend, which was this show that Comedy Central used to have.
It was like their staple for a while.
It was like their new comedians showcase.
Yeah.
Like whoever hadn't done TV yet would do that
So
show.
you sent them the very first tape you did, or one of the later ones?
First or second one.
Oh, jeez.
It was something from Grinnell. Never heard from them. I was like, clearly it was some sort of mistake. Clearly something bad happened. My shit got lost in the mail. So I do... and then what I did was I looked up in the newspaper open mic nights, and I just made a note of each one that was close to me. And I just started going to these open mic nights.
That's awesome.
And one of the ones there was one at the Red Lion pub, and that was closing down as I was there. So I did it once. Then I would go to Lyons Den, and Lyons Den was the one, and that's where I remember one of the first comedians I met was Pete Holmes. I met.
Oh, cool.
Right, because he just moved there from Boston to do stand up.
Yeah.
And so I started doing it, and then I met Kyle Kinane. He was one of my first comedy friends.
Yep.
Matt Bronger, Hannibal, all these guys. Hannibal maybe came a little bit later. TJ
was there, yeah.
TJ came like 6 months after I started. I remember when TJ moved there. Thomas came like maybe a year or 2 after I started, a couple of years. So all these guys sort of moved in. But when I was doing stand-up... So we had this show called... it was called Lyons Den was the name of the bar. It was a show every Monday night. Everyone would go put their name in a hat, and it gets pulled out, and it would be like 60 comedians.
Yeah.
And this was the center of the Chicago stand-up scene.
Wow.
The room would be packed, and you could go up 7th. I mean, the sweet spot is between 10 and 20.
Yeah.
And then it's bad from like 20 to 35. And then people leave, and then new people come in, audience-wise.
Oh, wow.
So like around
This is like a long night then.
Oh, my God. It's 60 comedians doing 5 minutes each. That's a 5-hour show.
That's crazy.
it was fucking great. And then so there were these two guys who started doing stand-up who were like these handsome guys who worked at like a fancy or like a douchey restaurant.
Sure.
So they would bring all their beautiful friends. So around like 11, it would be like all the beautiful people would show up. So it was just a fucking great time.
It sounds like a great melting pot of all these great future comedians.
Oh, it was so fun. I mean, every week it would be me, Pete, Kyle, Hannibal, TJ, Bronger. I mean, so many, everybody.
Just stacked. At the time, did you realize you guys had something like special or potential in that group?
We certainly thought everyone was very funny. I mean,
there had to be some bad eggs, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. There's 60 comedians. Yeah. I've named 5. That's 55 left. No, it was...
That's actually a great batting average, I feel like. 5 out of 60?
No, it's not bad. And there was a lot of other funny people that, either never moved or did move and are very, very funny here, Like John Roy was, I remember, one of the first ones who sort of broke out because he did... what's that fucking show? I can't believe I can't think of it. Arsenio was hosting it. It was like a contest. America's...
No idea.
Not a comedy show. It was like... Shit.
America's Got Talent.
No, it's like a show that's been around since like the 70s or 80s and it would go away.
The one with the Star Search.
Star Search.
Boom.
Star Search.
We got it.
That's right. So he won Star Search.
Holy cow.
And I remember us watching it and he said, "Thank you to Lyons Den." And then he
cool.
was like, all right, he's going to drink for free here. Until this bar closes, which it did a couple years later.
So how did you shed your shyness that you had? Did college sort of get you out of your shell, or was there? Do you remember a specific incident that opened you up and allowed you to do 25 minutes your first set? Because stand-up's fearful for people that aren't shy. Public speaking, is no small feat.
I just loved. I made friends. I think not having my parents around was good. They're wonderful people, but just I had no, I just had to make new friends. And then I sort of realized that I was like the funny guy of the group. I don't know how, but I was just the funny guy. And all my friends in college were very funny.
Yeah.
But I was the funny guy. So it was fun. And so I would just make them laugh and stuff. So it was like when this open mic night was happening, my friends were like, "You should do this."
Sure.
So I don't know how, but I was
It was just a gradual build.
Yeah.
Confidence booster.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're watching as much stand-up as you are, I feel like it's like the Karate Kid thing. He's like, you're just learning by watching, or by consumption. Or
I guess so. Yeah.
It's like when I watch March Madness, I think I can fucking nail a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
No. Totally.